Yep, we're back to Illusion of Gaia, and again, I am unsure how long this particular video is going to be because I am in an area that sometimes gives me a little bit of trouble, but alas, well, I mean, I'm doing this game, so I have to, more or less get by it, right? So anyways, I have to, if I remember correctly, knock this down, grab that, which is an ancient Incan statue A. There's also ancient Incan statue B, which I have to get. And it's ancient Incan statue B, which gives me trouble because wouldn't you know it? Excuse me, I feel a bit of a burp coming on. Well, that wasn't that good a burp, but take what you can get, you know? Anyways, ancient Incan statue B requires you to defeat enemies within a certain time limit. And sometimes I have issues with it. So alas, I am going to be having to do this, probably in this video, as probably the next thing I have to do in this video. And I am not going to be enjoying it that much. But alas, I am trying to stay positive. And I am finding I am having a lot of ups and downs in regards to staying positive. I mean, as I think I've stated before, it kind of goes against my nature, this whole staying positive thing, but alas, I'm trying. I did not necessarily lose my job, but I will not be going back to my job this week. Even the lead hands and supervisors there know that some of the forklift drivers that work there shouldn't be driving a forklift at all. Like, that's how incompetent they are. And once you know it, Thursday, due to the incompetency of a forklift driver, I didn't get severely injured, but it's more I didn't get severely injured this time. I had to make a visit to the hospital because of this. And while I'm in the hospital, I'm going, you know what? I'm not going to be going back. Like, it's only a matter of time before someone ends up getting severely injured, considering that they hire temp workers as forklift drivers, which to me is just a recipe for disaster. And I'd rather, work in an environment is guaranteed safe. A workplace where I'm not going to have to worry about am I going to be able to walk home or am I going to be limping home from the hospital. And Thursday, I was limping home from the hospital. So, no. I've already messaged my employment agency saying I'm not going back there. Not it's not worth the risk. So I am temporarily screwed in regards to employment. But I mean, I should find something soon. There's always some sort of work to do in this city right now. So I should have something. If not by the end of this week, by the end of next week. So I'm not that worried. I'm just, I'm worried enough. Excuse me. And yeah, I don't think there is any way I'm going to be able Never mind! I was honestly under the impression that I was not going to be able to complete that within the time limit. And yet I did. Maybe the positive thing actually is working. I don't know. How long have I been recording? Not even that long. So, yay. Now, if you've been watching some of my other projects, you know that I've recently completed Dragon Fantasy Book 2, The Black Tome of Ice. Saying that, I will not be doing another Japanese role-playing game for a little while anyways. Not that I don't want to, I mean, I kind of do. And just knowing the way I am, I'll probably end up changing my mind soon. But because I'm doing a lot of other projects, and some of these projects are rather big, I feel like I should be holding off until I do another JRPG, because a JRPG by its nature is going to be a big, lengthy project, you know? So I'm probably going to be holding off in regards to those kind of games. I, at the very least, want to finish a few of these projects before I start another big project. Saying that, I've got a couple of ideas in regards to what my next JRPG is going to be, and in regards to Japanese role-playing games, they're not going to be that big. I've already done a couple playthroughs of them, so I know relatively familiar with them, though bear in mind these are games that I did not grow up with. In fact, I've only recently completed them. But I feel as though it's simply due to the kind of simple nature of these particular JRPGs that I'm not necessarily going to get that lost or confused in regards to playing them for my channel, you know? And besides, I'm going to be honest with you, especially when it comes to the old school JRPGs, I'm not above using a guide. Which I know a lot of people will consider, if not blasphemous, at the very least wrong. But I mean, I really don't want to go around looking for that next significant plot point. One example that I can think of what I did for this project is after you get the Crystal Eye in the original Final Fantasy, your instinctual thought in regards to what you have to do next is deliver it to the elf prince who's pretty much in a coma. But no, that's not what you have to do. You have to go back relatively near to where you started the game. Excuse me, I feel another burp coming on. Deliver the crystal eye to the witch in the cave, and they give you some item, potion, what have you, and that's what wakes the Elven Prince up from the coma. Now, apparently there is some sort of hint you get before I think you can even go to the Elven town where someone mentions that the this particular witch is missing her eye, or this witch is blind or something. I don't really remember. Like, there is some sort of vague hint that that is what you're supposed to do next. But alas, you know, if I remember correctly, that particular hint is given to you by a non-important looking NPC. So good luck even knowing you should be talking to that guy. Let alone paying attention, particular attention as to the wisdom in his words. Now, of course, it is a JRPG, and you know, especially when it comes to the older Japanese role-playing games, or pretty much any role-playing game in general, you probably should be talking to everyone, just in case, you know. I believe it's called Star Tropic Syndrome. No, I shouldn't say that. For one of my live streams on Twitch, I got requested to do Star Tropics. And while it does look surprisingly enjoyable, I mean, I honestly thought I was going to find the game somewhat insufferable, but I shockingly found it kind of fun. You know, it is one of these. It is one of these games where kind of gets the next plot significant event or what have you. You're gonna have to be talking to everyone. And while I did play the game for what seemed a long time, the reason I played the game for a while is because, for one, it's kind of a somewhat of a Zelda-like action-adventure game, and those kind of games I'm just very unfamiliar with. So yeah, I was kind of failing in my playthrough, you know? Just kind of failing in my playthrough of Star Tropics. I remember getting to the, it had to have been the first boss. I remember getting to the first boss, and pretty much just absolutely failing at it, but eventually I learned to, forgive me, I, had a brain fart. I didn't realize I had to not activate the, item in the menu, but anyways, yeah. Anyways, my next Japanese role-playing games, or at least the one that I'm considering next. Keep in mind, I always have the right to change my mind. I am considering either Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, which I was honestly expecting not to like when I was playing through it, and while it is definitely not the greatest of the Final Fantasy titles as far as the kind of side games go, I rather like it. I mean, it is extremely simple. I mean, very, very simple. But sometimes an RPG doesn't have to be complex, you know? Sometimes all you really want from an RPG is just something simple to enjoy, and I found that with Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, I found it simple but enjoyable. I'm also thinking of doing either Final Fantasy Mystic Quest or Dragon Quest. And by Dragon Quest, I mean the original Dragon Warrior. Though, keep in mind, if I were to... Well, I am going to be doing this eventually. I am going to be doing Dragon Quest eventually, just when I do Dragon Quest, because I have access to the ROM hacks or translations or what have you, I'm going to be doing the 16-bit versions. If for no other reason than I am a 16-bit baby. Now there is also one other JRPG which I am playing right now, which I am very tempted to do, but it is by no means going to be a simple JRPG. It's definitely going to be a lengthy Japanese role-playing game, just simply in regards to editing and the like. And that is, Mother. I am seriously considering doing the original Mother. Now, obviously it's going to be the, well, not even the NES version, it's obviously going to be the, Famicom version. It's just, instead of it being titled Mother because of the, kind of translations or ROM hacks or whatever I have available, it's going to be something like Earthbound Zero or Earthbound 2025 or what have you. It's not going to be... Like, when I do the project, and I am seriously considering doing this project, my title is going to be Mother, but kind of in regards to sort of what you see on the sort of opening title screen or what have you. It's... Am I having a brain fart? I know there is some place I gotta go. I also know is that I have to find that melody, which always gives me trouble. And I really don't know why it gives me trouble. I think the place where you find the melody is in one of those, like, almost painfully logical locations. But because it's so obvious, it's easy to miss. And I really cannot help but get the feeling that I should have already picked up that, there it is where I'm supposed to go. Or already should have picked up that melody. But anyways, yeah. I'll find it eventually, like, I mean, I'm gonna have to find it eventually. Really? Don't have much of a choice. I mean, I need to find that melody no matter what. It's just a matter of, will I find it when I am intended to find it, or am I going to find it after the fact that I need it? And have to backtrack. Like I've done so many times playing this game. Oh well. just so you're aware, this isn't going to be a long video. In fact, I might just end it right now. So I've been recording for over 25 minutes of the rare stuff I need to take out in the beginning. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care and